Welcome back to the Untitled Chapter. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. This time I want to talk to you about the DX9 Invisible, or their take on Mirage, and this is the fully colored one, not the transparent one. And I do want to point out that you can get this at Show Z. I got mine at Show Z, and you might be asking, why are you reviewing a figure that was made in 2014 and now it's almost 2020? Well, the reason for that is this guy's gotten cheap. He's $51 at Show Z. You can get one for yourself. Let's get into this. So I want to take a look at the box. Yeah, box looks almost exactly like my clear one I had, and yeah, not bad. DX9 makes some trippy looking boxes though, don't they? They have that interesting vibe about them. So let's have a look at this guy in his alt mode. You could tell that's the race car. You know that that's a race car. He looks good. I was surprised. I didn't realize how good they did the chrome. The chrome is just all over where there's chrome. It blings, it looks nice. I love that. I love chrome on my figures, and so it looks good on this one. Looking at the blue, I had this mold already once before, and it was kind of the clear blue, but not really clear blue. This actually feels better. I don't know how to explain it, but the clear plastic just doesn't feel as holds up as well as the non-transparent plastic. You got a seat in here. It actually folds up. Got paint right here. Painted on the 26, painted on the letters on the side. Little white paint there, white through here. So yeah, looks good. I mean, this is definitely a good race car mode. Now here's the race car next to the X-Transbots versions, and this is for their Minosaur. Now, I do want to bring this up, that feeling this figure next to the DX9, or the X-Transbots, sorry. The X-Transbots one, this is a little heavier. The X-Transbots heavier, this is kind of light. So that's an issue within itself. There's no die cast in this guy, which, by the way, is something that I really like, is having some die cast and having that weight, but you don't get it with this guy. So I'm gonna point that out. Let's see how he looks with the old Hot Rod. Hey, Hot Rod. And looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and transform this guy. And one thing I want to admit is it's a relatively simple transformation. I'm gonna lift that up, and we're gonna kind of undo the legs in here. Now, it's funny because all of this this tabs into the pelvis, and it all should hold into place. That doesn't hold into place that well. It just all easily comes apart. So that is a challenge. Moving back here with the feet, getting this little tab here adjusted on the wheels wherever you want them. You're supposed to put it all the way back up into here, but it stands a little better if you kind of leave it out, so we'll just leave that out. There, fold this flap cover, and there's that. And then with these pieces here, they kind of adjust however you want them. So there's the legs. This is a pretty simple transformation. You are, I guess, supposed to flip that seat up. Let's undo. Let's go a little higher here. The arms, push them up. And we can bring that out. The shoulder pieces out all the way. Extend the arm and bring. I want to rock it out. So you rock it out so you don't chip any paint or anything like that. Now at this point, you want to bring these little waist filler pieces out. So you have them. We can flip the legs around, open up the waist piece. There we go. Now we're going to rotate this all the way around, and we'll have that in place. Do it over here also, and have that in place. Fold these, close them up, and they're going to go through this hole here. They're going to come out the back. Now I always worry about chrome stuff chipping, so I'm going to be extra careful as I do this. There we go. Once you start chipping chrome, it just looks tacky. I don't like that at all. Let's get the waist pieces lined up just right. For some reason, I don't know why, they seem like they held in better before. There. Get the waist piece just right, and then you can close that up on it. All right, now we're going to rotate the waist all the way forward. And then, I guess, pull this back out. All right, now get the hands out on both sides, and he's pretty much transformed. So, simple 2014 technology, making for an easier figure. Now, like I said before, you can play with these little levers back here and make for a more sturdy stance. All right, so looking at this guy right here, you have all the same beautiful paint, beautiful chrome that we had in the other mode. Now I do have his shoulder cannon on him, and now he's got a white gun, so that's really all the accessories he comes with. And you can see now in this mode, he has some paint on his pelvis area, painted in his, these side pieces weren't exposed before. Going on down, you can see the inside of the leg looks like it's got all kinds of decorations, paint and stuff to it. But I would have liked if these legs condensed down a little bit more, because they are kind of chunky, but not bad, really not a bad looking figure. And I'm taking into account, of course, that it's from 2014. It's a little bit older mold. But if you don't have a Mirage at all, $50 is better than $100 for your other options. Let's check out his articulation. His head goes side to side, a little bit up and a little bit down. His elbow, so if it clears that tire barely in the back, it could go all the way around, just that tire would hinder it. You do have much more than the 90. And we have what appears to be an almost double jointed elbow, but you don't get true double jointed. Oh, there it is, double jointed elbow. Look at that, 2014, busting out a double jointed elbow. It's part of the transformation though. You do have, on the hands, it is pinned, so you do get some movement in the hands. And I guess this was so old they just didn't do the tabs in it. I'm not sure if that was just a thing they did back then. Waist swivel, no ab crunch, because it's an older design. You do have universal right here, so you can, if you move that skirt, you can get well more than, here, look at that. Almost stable enough to get a high kick. Look at that high kick he's doing. You can get him there, and you can keep him there if you don't move him. Okay, anyway, that's enough of that. All the way back. And the knee, you've got almost MP44 level knee. You could actually move this out and have even more knee, but you could get super knee articulation if that's something you wanted. You do have that swivel there and nothing at the knee that way. And this, no real articulation with this, but you could move that to really help your posability. Okay, so here's a comparison next to Carbot Prowl and MP44 Prime, so you can kind of see his height. He is just slightly taller than the Carbots, or maybe the exact same size, just based on that part behind his head there. And I guess I wouldn't really count that as height. And then shorter than Optimus Prime, so he fits in with the Carbots, regular Carbot scale, if that's something you want. Here he is next to X-Transbots versions of Trailbreaker. And yeah, looks pretty good size-wise. I like mine a little bit taller. I wouldn't have minded if he was a little bit taller, but there he is. And now for the big comparison between MMC and and eventually going to get into comparing to the upcoming version. But looking at these guys, first of all, he's a bit of a darker blue. He's a lighter blue. If you like the chrome and real world aspects, this guy here on my version, this is like Sphinx number 7.3. But my version, it's just kind of a flat silver or maybe even a gray versus the chrome look. And he gets skinnier here, and for me, I always thought that Mirage was a pretty skinny character. So I felt like this guy was a little chunky, on the chunky side, but looking at pictures more and more and more, I think the only thing is that the lower legs are even chunkier on him than they are on him. But let's look at the side view. But the longer part here versus that, this actually makes a little bit more of a tune accurate look from the side. And then here we are from the back. And I do want to point out that the back is clean, but he has gappage. Even though they try to fill it, there is gap. There's gaps, no gaps really here, but that looks a little bit clustered up. So there's pluses and minuses to each of these figures. I do want to mention weight. This guy weighs significantly more. And if the way they did the feet over here, there's much better stability than what's going on with trying to rest on those tires. Now let's do a quick comparison to the tune shot, and what you're going to see is that MMC kind of wins in the tune, but I just felt like the overall silhouette was a little bit better with this guy all along than with Mirage. And I do kind of think it's odd that, like, when you look at the colors on the box, show closer to MMC than what DX9 actually put on their figure. So that's always been a mystery to me. But comparing it to Tune, that's that. Now let's compare it to Transform Element, which is coming out with theirs. And I'm not gonna lie, Transform Element is doing a couple of things different. As you can see with both of these older ones show that there is the fin. The racing fin is the foot. And having the racing fin as the foot doesn't really match the animation as well. And with Transform Element, his foot is an actual foot. So what they do with the fin, I think they move it around and it goes to the back or something like that. So they're going a more even hyper tune route. We're gonna be interesting to see what the colors are. It'd be interesting to see if they use some chrome to it and chrome bits. But there's the comparison. Okay, quick look at the accessories. This is his shoulder cannon, and it is not removable. This chrome piece is not removable. I like that it's chrome. I do also like that it does have a pivot here on this screw, so it can move. That works. I understand the first version of this had a silver gun. Now we're going with a white gun, so not sure if that's right, but that's what I was thinking, that it had a silver gun with it. So there it is, no paint, and quite a bit of detail that's not showing up. White's kind of hard to get show up. So this is the DX9 Invisible, their take on Mirage. It's almost 6-year-old mold, and I think he still looks pretty good. I do like the paint, I do like the chrome, the shiny chrome. I do like the alt mode, it looks great, it fits on the shelf fine. I don't like that there's no die cast, and it is getting a bit dated, but it is a very good budget option. If you only want to spend 50 bucks instead of over 100, this might be a good guy for you. You can get it at Show Z. They have them right now. I'll put a link in the description. Like, subscribe. So Darren Hanger out.